To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Lockhart Perspective. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Lockhart Perspective.
Well, hello. I hope everybody can hear me. We've been having some difficulties trying to get the sound up and running. If anybody there can give me a 5 by 5, if you can hear me. Can anyone hear me? We have had a hard time with the sound today, and I do hope that you can hear me because this show is going to be a really good one. It's going to be full of information. It's going to also answer a lot of questions that I believe that we've all had dealing and surrounding with. Thank you all. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Marty, Daryl, James, and Alana. I appreciate you guys for giving me the 5 by 5. So let's get with it. We, because of how quirky I am, love to talk about Cern as well as, Fermilab. We don't want to leave them out. We like to talk about a lot of different things that are going on cosmically. Jack, thank you. Hey, Kari. And so we like to talk about everything here that deals with the alleged space of it all. But I think it's important to note how much the Catholic Church has to do with CERN. I think it's important that we dig together. So I hope you guys got a little bit of time for me today because we're going to look at some stories that I've already pulled up. And then we're also going to take the opportunity to pull some threads apart as you and I go along in some of these articles. There's a lot of hyperlinks. That's why you don't see a lot of links, if any, right now inside of the description box. Because I like to work with you guys to pull together all of the things that we're going to talk about. And so that's why I'm saying we are going to dig together. We are going to look together. I have tabs that are already open, things that we're already going to talk about. But as we get to those different tabs, we're going to start talking about some other stuff. And I think it's important because we need to put the button on all of this stuff right now. This was the last month, I think it was November, where CERN actually began to wind things down. They go and gather up all their information. Meanwhile, there's a lot of kooky things that's been going on in the atmosphere. There's, threats of different, that one meteor, the big one, the one with the Egyptian name, that's reared its ugly head again. And I think it's important that we sort of put it all down there. As my friend says, Black Spring with Autumn, what her daddy, rest his soul, used to say, down there where the cows can get it. So when you think of CERN, tell me some of the things that you think about. You can put it in the chat. I'm going to wait. Today we're taking our time. So if you got time to hang out, then we are all here together and we're going to hang out. When you think of them, what do you think about? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? It should be something dark and nefarious, right? Or it should be something that can't be explained. Where a lot of people say, oh my goodness, this Mandela effect or this or that. Or the first time I ever heard about them was when they, were down at the Goddard, Center or whatever. And they had this kooky type of festival going on or this ceremony where they were opening up X, Y, or Z. All of those different kinds of things come up. What I want you to look at today, we're going to look at the religious aspect of it. So here's what we need to do. We really do need to button up this whole thing while we have time. We need to button up the whole topic of Christendom and the church. Christendom is Catholicism. We got to sit there, you guys. We got to. You know why we have to park the car there? Because if we don't park the car there, we're going to miss something. I was missing something, and I have not achieved everything. As you all know, as long as we're in our earth suit, we're going to miss it. So I haven't achieved everything, but I do know that in order for me to understand all of this, cosmic stuff and all of these dark, nefarious things that we see whenever we're dealing with any part of Catholicism or as they call it, Christianity, we got to look at those parts because they do go together. And here's the trippy issue. It's not so much that they go together. It's the fact that those who put it out there on Front Street, they already know what they're doing. It's us who toil and play tug of war with our emotions. You know what I mean? We play tug of war with our emotions as it relates to the church and as it relates to all of the nefarious things that are going on, as it relates to all the nefarious changes within our atmosphere, all the things that go on. I told you guys about 3 months ago that when we start to feel like there is something weird going on around us, do not discount it. Who remembers that? Do not discount it when you feel like there's something in the atmosphere. It doesn't mean that you're a witch. It doesn't mean that you're this or that. It just means you're picking up all of the stuff that's going on around you, all the energy that's around you. You pick that up. We talked about how you sometimes can pick that up when you go into a room and it's somebody has been arguing in the room. You walk in all happy and you're like, whoa, what just went on in here? Why? Because you picked it up. You can feel it. You're smart. Everybody that comes to this channel, even those who debate, have a spirit of they can pick things up. So you already know, just like I already know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now, things that cannot be explained. And we also know it's going to get even more weird in a minute, baby. It's going to get even more weird. So we're just going to hang out. I want to talk about medicine. Medicine. We're going to talk about Cern. We're going to talk about all the companies that they work with, the medical applications that they are, we're going to reiterate some of those medical applications. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to answer a lot. So we may be here for a little bit. That doesn't mean you have to sit here all day. I know y'all busy and I know y'all got stuff to do. So without further ado, let me go ahead on and pull up the first slide. Okay, let me pull up this first slide. I love looking at your comments, especially when it's on a chill day like today. It's a chill day like today. And that's why I feel like I'm going to just take my time with you guys today. I'm not going to rush through any of this. I'm not going to be, okay, here we go, 30 minutes, we're out. No, we're going to chill. Some of this stuff I've read. Some of the stuff I have not. The reason for that is because I like to read it with you first. I like to give you the full screen so that you guys can see what's shaking and what it's all about, Alfie. So here we are from their own website. We're looking at the switch was flipped and the beams were dumped. That's what it says. Let me give you the whole screen. This comes directly from their website. And even though I have told them what my cookie settings should be, for whatever reason, they never change it. It just stays that way. Okay. Probably say, oh, it's her again. The LHC, the switch was flipped and the beams were dumped. Looking back on an exciting year for the LHC and its injector complex. This is December 7th, 2022. Goes on to tell us that on Monday, November 28th at 6 o'clock in the morning, the LHC engineer in charge flipped the switch and the last proton beams of 2022 made a final turn around the LHC before being discarded into the dedicated beam dumps. This marked the end of the first of 4 years of run 3 and the start of the year end technical stop. That's why we're calling this the year end. So what's going on with the year end? Okay, let me make sure that I can hear me well. Hold on. Hold on a minute. There we go. That's up. Let me check the sound here. Because sometimes I'll listen back and when I'll have that crummy music on, the music will be too loud. I'll sound like I'm at some type of goofy place. All right, you guys are cool. All right, so that's the reason why we pointed out the name of this. It's the year end for them. It's the end of the year. All right. Now, this marked the end of the first of 4 years of Run 3 and the start of the year-end technical stop, or YETS, a mere 21 weeks after the first collision at the 6.08 tera electron volts per beam. You guys remember we did a video on that. We covered that. That's inside of the our playlist now. So 2022 was without a doubt a commissioning year. Our teams encountered problems related to long shutdown 2, LS2 updates, as well as beam intensity limitations due to the heat load, in particular in sectors 7 and 8. Thankfully, these issues were effectively addressed, and alternative beam schemes were tested and used to overcome the limitations. Again, this comes directly from their website. I do not own this, and I'm using it as fair use. This is public record. It's on the public website. All in all, the machine and the beam performance exceeded initial expectations. The integrated luminosity prediction for 2022 was 25 FB. There's a 1 up at the top. We'll look down at the bottom to find what that is. Based on a beam availability factor of 30%, which matches average values for commissioning years. In fact, the beam availability factor for a major part of the physics run was closer to 50%, despite 2 extended stops in May and in August through September. And the longer yet, which was brought forward by 2 weeks due to the worldwide energy crisis. Now, you guys, I got to stop the energy crisis. This was pulling a lot of energy. Okay, let's keep going. Along with the good beam performance, this availability resulted in the delivery of 40 FB for both Atlas and CMS. However, the 4-week lead run, which was scheduled at the end of the year, was canceled in favor of proton physics. Now, you guys know, let me come over here and look at you all. You all know what Atlas is, right? And everybody knows what CMS is. If you don't, let me know, and I will make sure that we go over that, because it's important to know that there's not just one machine. There are several different machines. They have different, they were introduced at different times. One for short is called Alice. There's another one so I hope everybody knows that. So when you hear those terms, it's because each one of them have a different name, but you need to know exactly what's what. All right. Okay. I really encourage everybody to go to the website and understand what it is that they're doing. Okay. All right. So that's important. I'm going to show you what Atlas is. Thank you, Jean or Jean. I'm going to do that for you. Atlas and CMS. However, the 4-week lead run, which was scheduled at the end of the year, was canceled in favor of proton physics. So I'm going to come back off the screen. Oh, forget it. I'll stay. I like you guys. It's Friday. No, it's actually Wednesday, and it's raining. That's what I meant to say. It's raining. But you know what? No, let me shut up. I ain't going to let you guys see how kooky I am. But no, I am. Do you know what? Sometimes I feel like that days can be flipped and jumped around. In 2017, I believe it was 2016, our family went to sleep in the middle of the day for no reason. My son in his room, he's 35 now. I in my room, my daughter in another room. My grandchildren were watching TV. Do you know when we all fell into this deep sleep in the house? Was it 2016 or 2017? I don't remember, 16 or 17. We fell into a deep sleep. But do you know that when we all woke up, we felt like it was a different time? So I could be saying stuff and don't know what I'm saying. But then again, I could just be wrong and mixed up because I was saying Friday instead of Wednesday. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean it didn't happen, but we all woke up and it felt like we had lost a lot of time. It did. Taking my time today. We just chilling. Don't look for nothing all buttoned up over here today. Don't look at it. Okay, so the LHC would not have achieved this impressive number of collisions without considerable flexibility and good performance in the injector complex, which concluded its second year run 3 already on November 28, 2022. The injectors are reaping the benefits of the LHC injector upgrade undertaken during the LS2 and the intensity ramp up towards LHC beam perimeters has made commendable progress over the past few months. The PS and its booster have actually reached these parameters already in 2022. Besides feeding protons to the LHC, the injectors have once again served the rich and varied fixed target physics programs of ISOLDE, the east area of the N. I don't know what these N underscore parts are, but I know these are different parts of their areas here. The N underscore TOF facility, the anti-proton factory, Awake, all of these are names that are real things, and the High Ramat and the North area. As an example, The SPS provide a record of 2.3 by 10 protons. That bi may not be bi. You know who I should have had up here with me today? There's a gentleman that's a physicist. And I should have called him to have him hang out with me today. From now on, before I do a show, if you guys see a show and it's your expertise, I want y'all to throw me your resume. Send me your resume. If you see a show and you know that it's of your expertise and you don't mind, you don't have to be seen on the camera, although I wish you would, but you can be seen with your avatar. Throw me your resume and come and be my co-host for that particular show. Felicia, I'm a physicist and I want to help you, or I've studied physics and I want to hang out with you. Come on, my brother, my sister. Protons to the north area while improving the quality of the beam spill as requested by the users. Here goes some graphs. You know, they love graphs. People love graphs. They like to see them. Why? I don't know. Although the lead ion run was canceled at the LHC, lead ions were successfully fed to the north area for a 2-week physics run, down from 4 weeks. In addition, the commissioning of the slip-stacked LHC ion beam in the SPS was completed, and LHC experiments did register some lead collisions as a part of a 2-day lead ion test run in November, during which slip-stacked bunches were injected. Today, instead of particles, technicians and engineers are whizzing around the tunnels to ensure that the accelerator complex is properly maintained and to prepare it for 2023, another year of hopefully efficient operation and promising data taking. Okay. Also on accelerators, you guys, I'm going to leave this for you. Do me a favor, Marty. Can you duplicate this for me and pass it? I'm going to give it to you right here. And just pass it for whomever would like to see it now, or take a moment. Maybe you can cut and paste that and read it at your leisure. All right. And you can just read that. All right. An encouraging start for run 3. This was August. I like the way they do their stuff. It always goes from the oldest to the newest because it's always connecting the dots. And I love that. I like that about them. I really do. Okay. All right. Now I had to give you guys that. And let me see out there. Are there any physicists in the house? Who was it? Stephen Baker? Is it you? Who? Nobody? Okay, let's see what you have to say. They may be trying to look inside a different place that is timeless, and to look ahead of our time so they can use it to front run events, i.e. control the future. Yeah, that would be great, right, Jack? Because people who are in that field understand, like I do with cosmetology, like I do with human resources. I do that. I understand that. That's my world. Radio, that's my world. That's my past. I get that. They get this. I'm just interested in it. You know what I mean, Jack? I'm just interested. Okay. So many want to know what's going on with Cern. Yeah, they do. Mike, we all sinners, but the church knows this and does their best. Let's get into this church stuff, y'all. Let's get into the church stuff. We're gonna button that up too. Let's get over there. All right, so I'm gonna come on my full screen and I'm gonna give you guys some more stuff as it relates to them and the church and how involved they are. I want to introduce you to a couple of folks. The first one's going to be well, let's do it like this. I'll put him on Front Street up under the bus first, then I'm gonna show you some appointments. Let's go ahead and put him on Front Street. Let's go ahead and give him the whole screen. All right. Pope Francis warns that the Large Hadron Collider could open the gates of hell. This was written when, how long ago? Doesn't say. Had to be not long ago. There's no date. I have to have dates. But we're going to still read it. These are not my words, so we're just going to read what we see. All right? Haven't read this yet, but I like the tagline because it lined up with what we needed to look at. Pope Francis pleaded the scientific community to halt the operations at the Large Hadron Collider this morning in an official Vatican release, as scientists at the Large Hadron Collider next week are hoping to experiment with a possible connection with a parallel universe outside of their own. So because I don't have a date on this, Hot Topics, this is something else. It does not have a date. So you guys, we're going to put this in the maybe pile. We're going to read it for entertainment purposes. And then we're going to put it in the maybe pile. We have to put it in the maybe pile. We have not read it together yet, but it's got to go in the maybe pile because you and I cannot confirm the validity, but we're going to read it, right? We're going to get all up in their business. We got to do that. So we got to be ethical. We got to be fair. We can't just say, oh, it is fact. It has no date. I don't see an author. We just going to read it. Let's go. The Pope's criticism comes days after scientists at the Cern Center in Geneva, Switzerland, revealed this week the plans to fire up the LHC atom smasher to its highest energy level. Now, I do know from historical points or whatnot, that would be circa the spring, because that is what they said, that they were going to do the atom smasher, because I remember reading that in a story that was verified by 3 sources. Okay, so the atom smasher to its highest energy level ever in a bid to detect or even create miniature black holes and possibly create an opening in the space-time fabric, closed quote. Another skeptic of the project is none other than respected. Okay, see, this had to go back even further than that, unless they're taking 2 stories and putting them together, because I know this story just like y'all know this story, which is where Stephen Hawking, who has recently warned of the end of the world, could be sparked by the elusive God particle. Okay, this has to be back then, or it could be a piece of recently and a piece of his warning that they're using just to show that both people warned. And the odd part is that both the people warned, okay, one's gone on, the other one's still here, but let me show you what he's been up to. It goes on to say that the Pope appeared visibly distraught as he addressed the crowd of tens of thousands of followers present at St. Peter's Square for the occasion of one of his longest speeches to date. My fellow Christians, ding, 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 ding. Don't come over here talking to me about Rome. Don't come over here talking to me about Rome and the Vatican and a whole lot of other stuff that go along with Rome. Okay? Don't do it. Do not do it. And at the same time, talk to me about Rome with the term Christianity involved in it. Oh, but they're different. No, 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 no. Wake up. Wake up. I'm saying this because I tell you that we love to attack. We love to attack. We love to attack instead of sitting back, chilling, and opening up our eyes so that we can learn. You cannot hold on to anything if you anticipate learning. If you anticipate learning, you got to let all that stuff go. Pour it all out. Dump it all out. Take your pocketbook, your wallet, your backpack, your knapsack. Take it all out, empty it out, and open your eyes. Because if you don't, we're about to walk into some mess here real soon. Real soon. Let's get it. My fellow Christians, we are living in desperate times, he told the crowd. Quote, science is about to test the limits of God and his creation, God, and his boundaries between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Are these scientists about to unleash upon us the gates of hell? He asks his followers, visibly shaken. Are these the days of darkness spoken of in the Bible? Are the hordes of demons lurking in fiery pits of hell about to be thrust upon the world? These are the questions we must ponder before allowing scientists to proceed to such experiments, he concluded. You don't know which last October this was because it just says last October, but ain't got no date. Last October, can you guys see this? Let me make it bigger. Last October, over 400 top physicists signed a petition warning that the Higgs potential might become unstable at energy levels above 100 BN giga electron volts, and asking governments to keep experiments under these levels. Well, did that work? Did it help? This is DW November 29, 2020. I hope that this is it, but this is somebody who gave a reply, but it doesn't matter because here's the deal. They could have just read this on that date. It could have been earlier, or it had to be earlier than the 2020, right? Had to be earlier than the date, or at least the date. So this is 2020. Let me show you guys something. So he's so concerned, right? He's so concerned. I'm going to give you something just recently, and I'm going to give you something else. But I'm going to put it over here for you. Hold on. He's so concerned. He gave a warning. It's almost like, I told you what we was going to do. He's like, yeah, but I thought you was joking. No, I told you what we was going to do, and we did it, but we told you before we did it. Pope Francis named leading physicists to the Pontifical Academy. But he's so concerned. This was 2020 as well. Pope Francis appointed the Director General of European Organization for Nuclear Research, Cern, Tuesday to the Pontifical Academy of Sciences. The Holy See press office said September 29th that the Pope had named Fabiola Giannetti as an ordinary member of the Academy. Giannetti, an Italian experimental particle physicist, is the first female Director General of Cern, which operates the world's largest particle accelerators at its laboratory on the border between France and Switzerland. Check out that geographical area, by the way. Last year, Giannetti became the first Director General since Cern was founded in 1954 to be elected for a second full 5-year term. On July 4th, 2012, she announced the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, sometimes referred to as the guard particle, whose existence was first predicted by the theoretical physicist Peter Higgs in the 1960s. In 2016, she was elected to her first term as Director General of Cern, home of the Large Hadron Collider, an almost 17-mile ring under the Franco-Swiss border, which started operating in 2008. Her second term will begin January 1st, 2021. The Pontifical Academy of Sciences traces its roots back to the Academy of Linksys Academy, one of the world's first exclusive scientific academies, founded in Rome. Ding, 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 ding. 1603. Ding dong. The short-lived Academy's members included the Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei. I never knew Galileo's last name, so I hope that this is the Galileo that I'm referring to here, that they're referring to here. Galileo Galilei is what it looks like. You guys correct me with the pronunciation there, if you don't mind. Pope Pius reestablished the Academy as the Pontifical Academy of the New Linksys in 1847. Pope Pius gave it its current name in 1936. Now, this is 10, this is 1. So is that 11? What is the 10 and the 1 you got? The X and the 1. Here, I'll come over here on the screen. What is the X and 1, you guys? What is this? If Ronnie were here, he'd be screaming. X and the 1. What is this? What number is that? X and the I. What is that? Which one is that, you guys? The X and the I. Because one was the I and the X, and one was the X and the I. You guys help me with that. The X and the I and the X. And it looks like it didn't allow you guys to pull this up either. Okay, so that's 11. Thank you, Cheyenne, and thank you, Turnip Tater. Turnip and taters. Hey, turnip and taters. Okay. All right, so you should be able to see that. Right there. Right there. You see the X and I and all that. Okay, 11. All right, well, what was the other one, you guys? Pope Pius, the I and the X is what? They're both 11s because one is an X and an I. Okay, 9. Thank you, Jean. Okay, so 9 was the first one. And then the 11 is the second one. Got you. Got you. Spend our time learning and building instead of okay. All right. All right, you guys, let's go. All right, so that's what that was. So in 1936, one of the current members who are known as ordinary academians is Francis Collin, the director of the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland. Past members include scores of Nobel Prize-winning scientists, such as, is it Guglielmo Marconi, Max Planck, Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, and I know that's always Werner. Whenever I see that W, Heisenberg, and Erwin Schrödinger, known as Schrödinger's cat thought experiment. A 2018 New York Times profile described Giannetti as one of the most important physicists in the world. Asked about science and the existence of God, she said, quote, "There is no unique answer. There are people who say, oh, what I observe brings me to something beyond what I see. And there are people who say, what I observe is what I believe. And I stop here. It's enough to say that physicists cannot demonstrate the existence or not of God." That's her words. There's a quote there. Okay. Now I want to show you another one. But he appointed her. But he ran around warning everybody. Be careful. Oh, be careful. Don't do that. Don't open it. Yeah, Karen Lynn, you got that right, girl. Ah, that was good, Karen. Karen, I love you guys. I'm gonna create a new membership, and it's gonna be called the Dot Connectors. But I ain't got no members in the first one. I'm gonna name y'all the Dot Connectors because that was good, Karen. Where is that? That's right up here. The Dot Connectors. That's it. That's it. Okay, we got the Dot Connectors. Okay, so that's the first person that he appointed. I want you guys to see all of this, how it all plays out. Now, so when stuff start coming from the sky, you already know who orchestrated it. Who orchestrated it was the individuals who actually have some of the largest telescopes in the world. They do nothing but sit in specific places and spots. Those who have snatched all different types of research and information, okay, and have it hidden in recesses and underground libraries and whatnot. So there is something to all of this, and don't let people tamper with your brain and tell you, no, you tripping. That ain't what that is. Oh no, they're different. They're Catholics, but they're a denomination, and they're this and that. And people will talk themselves into a circle. Come out from among her. I never knew you. Who was he saying? I never knew you two. It was those who thought they had a relationship with him because they thought they knew him, but they had no idea who Christ was. They have no idea who Christ is. None. They have no idea about the power ennobled in Christ. You have to understand something. And when you are dealing with individuals who practice as a way of life identity theft, you will never, ever, ever know the truth until you throw down everything, including your rocks that you got for everybody else. Throw all of that down. Throw out every bit of information you thought you had and ask him to show you who he is and what's real and what's not. Because if you don't, you will actually walk around forever in this little bubble thinking that you got it, that you've arriven, and you haven't arriven. And the irony is that there's a lot of people who don't want to add, who don't want to have this kind of conversation and say it has anything. I don't want to talk about science. I just want to talk about science. I can't talk about science and the Bible, or I can't talk about science and the idea of God. I can't do that. Well, I don't know how you can't. How can you do that? How can you not put them together? Because one has specifically been created to discount the other and to disprove his existence. So you must know. But you got to first of all know what's real and what's not. And you also have to understand with all specificity who your enemy is and what his goal is and what he will do to lure you in. Do you honestly think that somebody's going to come up to you that wants to harm you and say, I'm going to do this to you, unless they're absolutely crazy, and they're going to exact it right then? Usually when people want to lure you in, they're very nice and cunning and sweet, non-combative, and everything is fine. Oh, it's everything you want. Oh, no, this is just for you. Oh, it's all okay. No, he's going to come in like that. He's not going to come in kicking doors and say, he's going to come in nice and subtle so that you are confused when the truth hits you. So that you're totally confused when the truth hits you. He is going to do you that way. That's exactly what's going on. That's why I keep saying, I'm not going to argue with people in the comments about different things. I'm just not. Because once you start hitting me with Rome said this and Rome said that and Rome about this and Rome about that. Dude, I can't. This right here has so much to do with history. It's amazing. This right here is them actually getting into the place where they can oversee everything completely, because they're just grabbing up right now. Remember what Rome did, how they had everything. They owned everything. It was all about them. And then as they shift, because they're so greedy, so you got to remember something. When greedy folk get in power, greedy folk are not going to give in anything. And the only thing they're going to give is enough for them to get something back from You or the slave, as I said before. So at one point, they were telling you, oh, the Vandals this, oh, this one that, oh, this first group of people this, oh, this group this or that, and this group. Now we had to create this. But who created the papacy? And what was it for? And what was going on around this time? You all better connect these dots and do some study on Young, because I'm not going to give you the answer unless I'm doing an actual show on that. But connecting those dots, when did they talk about the Vandals? And why were the Vandals so bad? When did they talk about all these different groups and all these different areas that were all outside? And they all said, oh, they're going to come and they're going to get us, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. When all those things were happening, what did they do to bring all the people together? They created a who. They had a who. They installed a pope. Going to be the main cat. Because they realized that everybody loves somebody to look up to. Give them a human. They love it. Give it to them. And then we'll go ahead and continue to do what we're doing in the background. Wrists be twisting like a stir fry. Be all up over the cauldron. Wrists be just twisting like a stir fry. I had to take that break there. Sorry. Let's give you back the screen. Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next. Okay. Amazing. It's all amazing. It really is. And every hero story that we've ever seen, all the way from any story that they create, any story that they create for you to follow, from even from Mighty Mouse, all the way to the Pokemon cards, all the way. They got a hero that is a martyred type of character, or the character that is there to save the day. And each one of their characteristics and their specific strong points are all the same. They come to save the people who are weak. They come to save this and that. Every single one of them, every single thing that they've drilled in your head is look to this character, look to this figure. This is a savior. I mean, they inundate you with it constantly, all the way down to this ignorant movie that they just got that I won't see. I know I got to go see it so that I can talk about it. Ugh. All the way to them trying to make the Wakanda thing, all these matriarchal shows now, where they're trying to make that the new hero. Don't get me on it. I don't want to talk about this. But I can't without bringing up those points. They got this whole Wakanda thing. You got the Soulful Woman. You got all this garbage. You had Wonder Woman. You had Isis back in the day, that show. Well, Wonder Woman used to spin and call out the name of Almighty Isis. Remember? That's what she just said. She had the bracelets. Where are my bracelets? I got one sitting here. One of my bracelets. But I got to get some Brasso for it because it's a real brass bracelet. But it's not an ISIS bracelet. But it's what she used to wear, those big cuffs. Right? So they always want to give you these heroes, whether they be male or female. But this is what is going on right now. They're giving you all of these things. So what they did is Rome decided, let me give you guys somebody that y'all can look up to. Everybody can look up to this one key figure. And we're going to appoint this one key figure. And we're going to keep appointing them. And we're going to add. And we're going to add. And we're going to add. And we eventually have built an entire organization that does what we want them to do. This is what they're thinking. Goes along with all of the scientific stuff that we want to look at. They're all pagan in nature. Do not forget that the whole piece was pagan. The whole thing. Their whole thing. All the Constantine, all of that. They're all pagans. But what they've done is they found a way to sneak in on the emotions of man because they know that man needs a hero. I need a hero. Whatever. Let me get on. Y'all be thinking I'm crazy up in this piece. So please hit that like button, you guys. I want to remind you guys, please hit the like button. Do not forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to hit the share button. If you want to share it, please do. And please do not forget to subscribe. All right, let's get this. Here's the Vatican. All right, here's the other one. Is this the guy? I want to show you the guy. Ah, here he is. Now this guy he's heavy. And I'll tell you why he's heavy. There's a quote that he made. When somebody asked him about physicists and, all of the stuff going on up in the sky. Andrew Pensett is a research director. Academic summary. Here are all of his accolades. Andrew Pinsent is a research director of the Ian Ramsey Center for Science and Religion at the Faculty of Theology and Religion, University of Oxford. At Oxford since 2009, he has been the principal investigator for more than $6 million of research grants involving scholars in more than a dozen countries. Formerly a particle physicist on the Delphi experiment at Cern, they're gonna cause a problem. I think they're gonna bring something in. Are they gonna open up the gates of hell? I think we gotta be concerned. Concern. Huh? Huh? Do you see that? And he is father. Father who? Who he hang out with? Who know who he is? See that? Formerly a particle physicist on the Delphi experiment at Cern, Dr. Pinson has degrees in philosophy and theology, and a second doctorate in philosophy. A major theme of his research is second person IU relatedness in science, philosophy, and theology. His publications include work in virtue ethics, neurotheology, science and religion, philosophy of the person, insight, divine action, and the nature of evil. Of evil. That's right, be borrowed, straight up. Research interests are listed here, and the affiliations. Let's look at those, as if we know who many of these are. Harris Manchester College in Oxford, Faculty of Theology and Religion, Oxford. Is this Ministry P, Men's something P, member of the Institute of Physics? Oh, these are the chapters and the aren't those, isn't that what those are? What are these, you guys? CPHYSs, chartered physicists to 2020. The fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. Over here under research interests, philosophy of science, virtue ethics, metaphysical issues in contemporary science and theology, philosophy of persons, second person relatedness, insight and understanding, some of the publications. Publication in physics as a member of Delphi collaboration at Cern. Charged particle multiplicity distributions in restriction rapidity intervals. That sounds like some heavy stuff. Hadronic decays. I wonder if the hadronic decays has anything to do with how fast they decay when those, is it the muons, when they all smash or something? One of them, quarks, muons, something. But some of them smash, and when they smash each other, they evaporate or they disappear really fast, which is the reason why they had to speed it up this last time and make it go really, really fast so that they could capture more, so that they could take the opportunity to capture some, because they were losing many because it wasn't going fast enough when they were twirling them around like a t-shirt over their heads at Woodstock. A search for neutral Higgs particles in zeo decays. Yep, the decaying of it all. Look at this. This guy is deeply embedded. Do you see this? Go back up here. Let me show you what this is. Publications. A selection of these publications formed part of the run of the theology and the regional faculty of Oxford for the Research Excellence Framework in 2014. One of the 34 faculty members selected. But do you see all of this? Does this look like somebody who's just playing at it? Or does this dude look like he know what he doing? And he's got published publications in biology. Does it look like he's playing to you? Or does it look like he's serious? So I'm telling you, this whole thing that we all talking about, oh my goodness, this is why are they doing this so much and why so much is I've got to get you to see who they are. You got to understand who Rome is and who Rome is not. You got to see the connection. It is my highest hope that you see it, that you understand who they are and who they're not, what's going on and what isn't. He must not, right, Cheyenne? That's a lot of stuff. This is the piece that I want everybody to see. So now you got science, then you've got religion, and you've been told that they are really separate. But now do you see the dots that are connected that bring them together under one heading? Under one? You even have one of the greater ones saying that, hey, listen, don't do these things. Look at this is terrible. Well, you're going to cause a problem. And then you see cats that's physicists that's working with the same organization that he just got through warning the public about. Couldn't he just catch his cats and say, hey, yo, come here, if he's serious, and say, look here, what's really going on? What are you guys doing? I have strong concerns about this, and I think you should stop it. I'm talking real, you guys. We talking just straight up relaxing and chilling together today. Remember, we all decided we was going to chill. We wasn't going to be extra buttoned up. I don't have on no brooch. Okay, you could always tell when I've been someplace public speaking because when I gotta come here, you see the brooch on my shoulder. So I ain't got no brooch on. I ain't been speaking nowhere today. We're just chilling. So this is the same cat that just got through saying in a whole paragraph that he warned people that opening up this could open the gates of hell. That was a question. Could this open up the gates of hell? And now you see his cats and his players, from the chick to this dude to a whole bunch more, that are laced in accolades, that are laced in publications. They're laced. This dude is heavy. This ain't no light cat right here. This cat is not a lightweight. This is not a lightweight. Search for scholar quarks in zodiacs. Search for para-production of neutral Higgs bosons. Look at this. Search for light neutral Higgs particles. No matter what it is, this cat is no joke. It's no joke. Other details. Andrew Pinsent was formerly also a business and scientific consultant with I2 Tech, Philco SA in Brazil from 94 to 98, part of one of the largest private Brazilian business groups, and with Smith System Engineering Limited, 91 through 94, UK, specializing in geographical information systems. His ecclesiastical training was at the Venerable English College, Rome, for the Diocese of Arundel and Brighton, England, 1998 through 2005. He was ordained priest in 2005 and has worked in a variety of parishes in the United States, UK, and the UK, in the media, in schools, and at a great diversity of other venues. He is a regular contributor to the public engagement with science and faith issues. All I'm doing is bringing it to light. That's all. I mean, hey, don't get upset with me. I mean, I know a lot of people probably already knew this, but hey, I'm just saying, if you're going to love the Pope, you're going to love Christianity, I just want to shake you. Hey, all I'm offering is an opportunity for you to look. I'm not telling you to believe nothing I say. Please do not believe me. Please do not believe me. I want you to disbelieve me. I want you to be so angry at me that it charges you, that what happens is you get supercharged. Become a Super Saiyan. I'm telling you guys about the Pokemon and all the contra, how they compare one hero with another. Become so supercharged with disdain that you disprove me by going and doing this research yourself, because this cat just sat here and said, here's a warning. Are they trying to do X, Y, or Z? Are they trying to open up the gates of hell? And then you see cats like this and the chick that he just got through appointing a few years back. So I'm telling you something. Follow with me just a second. I want you guys to seriously follow. If you got to close your eyes to imagine what I'm about to describe. You are walking down a road and you guys are going to go see, you got you and your friend girl. Okay. If it's two chicks, it's you and your friend, best friend girl. Mississippi, we say friend girl. And if it's a guy, it's you and your best friend. You guys are walking and you guys are going to go see one particular person. Your enemy knows that you're going to go see this one particular person. So what they do at the fork of the road is they switch the signs. They turn the sign right there in that fork. You think you had it the one way, but now they done flipped it around. And because you knew where you were headed when you started out, you knew your intention, you knew where your heart was, you thought you had the directions. Somebody had been telling you, when you get to the fork, go to the left. When you get to the fork, go to the left. When you get to the fork, go to the right. You listen to the people back there that told you how to get there. You're walking. You know this road, you think. Then you get down there to the end of the road. Here come the fork. You and your friends look at one another. Well, they said go right. But something don't feel right. Well, they said go left. Oh, something don't feel right. So you go left. Because that going left had the sign that said it was this. But your enemy knew what your intention was. Your enemy knew what your desire was. Your enemy knew where you were supposed to be going. But your enemy wanted to play a prank. And it was a huge prank. Because you got down there to that fork and you went the wrong way. And even though something in your gut as you're walking along tells you that tree looks a little dark. And I understand that those kind of trees are only supposed to be this or that. Or the fruit that's on that tree is only supposed to be from this or that region. And you keep walking and you see another tree and there's fruit on that tree. And you're saying, wait a minute, if we're headed this way where such and such is, or where I'm supposed to be headed, those kinds of trees, the fruit that's on those trees are not supposed to be there. Why am I seeing that fruit? But because you don't want to stop. You don't want to turn around. You don't want to you don't want to second guess yourself because you don't want to feel like you have believed a lie. That's what these jokers did. These jokers have always been the greatest identity theft people on this plane. Always. They ain't gonna change. Why? Because it worked too good. And if it ain't broke, baby, they ain't gonna fix it. They ain't gonna change. They're gonna tweak it as they have to go along. But I'm telling you something. If you got this cat sitting for telling you, hey, watch out, that's gonna open up the gates of hell. He. And then you see two of the people that work with him. That's just two, because there are more. And some of the quotes from this guy, I can't even give you some of the quotes this cat said. He said they created something. This Vincent, yeah. His response to something dealing with physics was, well, we created it. We created this Big Bang. We created this idea. He said that. Y'all better watch it. Who you align yourself with. And you don't have to align yourself with me. I live a very, 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 very teeny tiny life. I have no visitors that come in and out. None of that. I don't have any friends that come over. None of that. I got the grands. That's about it. I got my one friend out in another part of Alabama. She and I visit one another every now and again, but I have nothing to lose. So if you don't want to hang out, that's cool. But I'm not going to lie to you. And if I'm wrong about something, I'm always going to tell you, hey, I was wrong about X, Y, or Z. It ended up being this. It ended up being that. But what I want you to do is disbelieve me. I don't want you to believe me. Please don't. Matter of fact, I want to get you angry so that you can start looking this stuff up yourself. Because if you continue to align yourself up with somebody that continuously says they're a Christian, he said it. He said it. I've taken you time and time again to the website that declares that they are the largest Christian organization in the world. And yet, time and time again, people come to me with what Rome says. Look here, stop. Don't do it, baby. I don't care what Rome say. I'm not led by Rome because I can see through them for now. And as time progresses, maybe I'll be able to see even more. But I do not believe anything they tell me. Why? I got to flip flop. Everything that they do, I flip flop it. I turn it around. If they say it's white, I say it's black. If they say it's day, I say it's night. If they say it's round, I say it ain't. Let's get on with the rest of these stories. All right. We have more. We got more. We got a lot more. All right. So here we are. Let's see what else. Medical applications. Let's take a dive. I think we did this before, but let's just go ahead for those who didn't get a chance to see it. Okay. All right. All righty. So let's see. They got a lot of different stuff, you guys. And again, remember, these are things that you and I are looking at together. I'm going to give you the whole screen. All right. We're looking at these things together. Okay. Rome is most assuredly Christian. Rome is Christian. Rome is Christian. Rome is Christian. They are Christians. Rome is Christian. Rome is Christian. People who don't want to believe it, I'm going to keep saying it. Rome is Christian. Rome is Christian. The Pope is a Christian. The Pope is a Christian. The Pope is a... I'm going to say this over and over again until y'all going ahead and get it. Or you get tired of me. Because I'm not going to sit here and keep playing these games. The Pope just addressed everybody and said, my fellow Christians. He said it. My fellow Christians. He said that. I didn't say that. He said that. Let me give it to you again. Because I'm not going to leave that down there. I'm not going to keep that down there on the floor for you. I'm going to pick it back up and let y'all see what I'm trying to show you. He said it. The Pope gave a warning. Am I right? The Pope warns. And what did he say? I pulled the story back up. I got it. I pulled the story back up. Let me give it for you again. I'm going to read it again and 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 again. Because, see, the problem with people is we don't want to believe somebody when they tell us something. We don't want to believe people when they tell us something. Has anybody really studied? Has anybody really gone and cracked open things and studied themselves and then exegete out of what they studied truth from that and threw the garbage away? Has anybody really rightly divided the word? Have you really? Don't play with me. Don't come to me talking about, well, I've been in church since I was this or that. And I was baptized when I was 10. And I started speaking in tongues when I was 11. And I received the gift of prophecy when I don't want to hear that. I want to know, do you study right now? Did you pick up the Bible today? Where your sword? Did you pick up your Bible today? Did you read it today? Or did you just read what feels good? And did you, with that reading, get understanding? Quit coming to me telling me who is and ain't a Christian. When these folks telling you, hey, I'm the devil, but I'm a Christian. What does that mean? I'm the devil, they say. Yeah. They laugh it off. And then they tell you they're Christian. Why do you think it's so easy for stars to get up and thank certain people? Y'all, come on now. It's too late for all of this playing. Stop playing. Stop joking. This is what the cat said. I need you to listen what the man says. Don't listen to me. Listen to this dude. What did he say? He said, I'm going to read it again. He said, right there, my fellow Christians, we are living in desperate times, he told the crowd. Who he? The Pope, who appeared visibly distraught as he addressed the crowd of tens of thousands of followers present at St. Peter's Square for the occasion, for one of his longest speeches to date. My fellow Christians. All right. Pop quiz. Who are you talking to? I'll hold. I'm holding. I'm rereading what this man has said. We have gone over it, especially on the Lockhart perspective. We have gone over ad nauseum with charts, with timelines, with the beginning, the middle, and the end. We've gone through the visions that this one had. We've gone through how they absconded with the true documents and how they buried them and how they did all this because they needed to be the one that you trust, because they need to be like Chaka Khan. Every woman and every man, they need to be everything for you at every time so that they can lead you where they want you to go, because hell doth enlarge herself daily. In order for them to get you to go where they need you to go, they got to get in here. And they can't get in here if you don't trust them. So let me go head on and put on this wolf suit with a sheep hat. Whoo, look at that, man. You sharp with your wolf suit on, man. What kind of sheep suit? What is that? Oh, man, you know, this is something I pulled together. I'm going to go on down here with all the players and pimps and hoes, and I'm going to go on out here and let them know who I am. I got on my sheep hat. But I got on all of this wolf clothes, and they ain't going to know nothing about it, man. I'm going to go on out here and do my thing, man. You know I got to do my thing. Well, man, you sharp. Whoo, you sharp, man. And he get on out there and start walking, and he is who he is. He is a liar and a deceiver, and he must make you think he is somebody that you can trust. So what he does is he plays the ball and shell game with your mind. And because mama and them, daddy and them, great granddaddy, great grandmama, great all of them, because all of them believed it, and you cannot unattach yourself to your sacred cow, baby, you're going to go around here believing that this cat ain't a Christian when this cat just said my fellow Christians. This very same cat is the one who has that big old thing talking about what the Vatican is and what they believe in and who they are and how the Catholic Church is the largest. They are the Christian organization. Who are they talking about? Who was the Flavians? I ask 1,000 times. Who was Constantine? I ask 1,000 times. What is December 25th? Whose birthday, Mithras, is December 25th? Do you know any of these answers? Please, if you do know these answers, then I can rock with you. But if you don't know these answers, don't you get in these comments talking nothing about Rome said. And Rome said this and that. And I believe what Rome said. And there's only this Bible, and there's only this, that. Do not contend thinking that I don't study, sweetie. We study over yon. Over here, right here, we study. So don't come over here with none of that. I got to give you truth to set you free, to help you become free, or at least dislike me enough to go disprove me. One or the other, I'll take it. My job is done here. One or the other. I'm heated because this cat said, my fellow Christians, we are living in desperate times. He told the crowd, quote, science is about to test the limits of God. Science is about to test the limits, homeboy, but this chick you just appointed, she's dealing with you. So are you science? Or are you part of my fellow Christians? Are you a Christian? Are you a believer in the true and living God? Thanks to the vowel shift, I don't want to say God. But the point that I'm making is, who are you? Because science is the bad guy in this paragraph right here. And yet still we see a couple of cats that roll with you, at least two at this point, and I know there are so many more, don't have time for it in this space, that rock and roll with you. But you're now warning this group of people, hey, I didn't do it. Remember, y'all, I was standing up that day, and I was telling you guys that science is about to test the limits of God and his lowercase h creation. God has created boundaries between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Now, y'all remember I was telling y'all that. Now, all these scientists, you guys, are they about to unleash upon us the gates of hell? Even though I got a big old gigantic telescope called Lucifer? Are they about to unleash upon us the gates of hell? He asked his followers, and he is speaking to my fellow Christians. Don't get mad at me, get mad at yourself. Don't get mad at me. He said it, not me. Don't get mad. Get right. Because this cat said it. Wake up. Are you there yet? Are we there yet? Are you there yet? Are we there yet? Are you up? Hello? Hello? Are you up? You up? You up? Who said they was a Christian? He said it. Who called the people he was talking to my fellow Christians? He said it. And then you see two accounts of people who rock with him and who are well learned physicists. And where have they studied? Where do they work? Cern. Who is he warning you about? Cern. Who is he talking to? His fellow Christians. Who is he? He's the leader. Because why? He asked his followers as he was visibly shaken. He asked his followers. Who is his followers? Christians. Why do you say that, Felicia? Because he just agreed. Look right here. My fellow Christians. So who are they following? They're following the highest Christian. Tell you what, you handle that on your own. Handle that on your own. You deal with that on your own. I gave it to you. I gave it to you. This cat telling you just who he is, and everybody is running around not putting Cern and the papacy together. He had to use that roadmap to get you to believe that you were still on the right path. You did run well. New Testament. You didn't think I know that, did you? Y'all think I don't know the New Testament because I question certain individuals' part in it. But just to make you comfortable, let me give you this. Wouldn't matter if Socrates said it. You did run well. You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? You were headed in the right direction. You were on the right path. You were on the right road. You had no clue that you had an enemy that needed to control you in order to take control of your life, your mind, your body, your spirit, your family, your children, all of your finances, and every single thing. You had no clue that they disliked your father that much that they would actually step in and turn that sign around once you got to that fork and you thought you were still running. Why? Because you did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? For this mindset did not come from him that calleth you. Didn't come from him. Is it possible that you've been deceived? Sure it is. Is there anything that I'm saying to you that could be of danger to you? Or is it worth at least finding out why these cats are standing up, this one specifically, calling these other people fellow? When you have a fellow, it's because the person has something in common with you. Yeah. Okay. They installed popes. The winner of war, the winner will dictate what the history is proven to be. The winner of the battle tells the story because no one's going to listen to the loser because the winner has the ability via media of the eye, written words, recited stories enough over and over again where lies become their truths. That's why people say, let me speak my truth in this day and age. Right now, you hear people saying, I want to speak my truth. Why? Because it is a truth to that person. It is true to that individual. The victor writes the history. Why do you think just recently they put something down for the history books 20 years, 30 years out after they've done this evacuation of human bodies? After they've evacuated all these humans that they no longer want, 30, 40 years. Why have I been telling you that the civil rights movement will no longer be about what they marched about? The true march, the true meaning of equality at that particular time. Why do you think I keep saying that it's not going to be about us? Not going to be about what you and your mom and them stood up for. White, black, purple, or green stood together because they wanted things that were not fair for other human beings who were born a specific color. They wanted things to be fair. Why do you think I keep telling you that in a minute? It's all going to be about the Brittany Grinders of the world because they're going to write that history. Why do you think that they're allowed to put flags that had the United States flag and then the LGBT flag in different countries? Because that's history. So when somebody in 20 years looks at a snapshot of a United States embassy in a foreign country, and those two flags are saying, well, we've always been about this. This is who we've always been. Why? Because media has told them so. What they've heard has told them so. Why? Because the ones who've invaded here will now write the history. Because if you look around you now, regardless to what your convictions about the Father above you personally are, they are winning and they are writing history right now. That's how history rocks. So when you come to me and you cannot tell me about Constantine's travel down that road when he was smitten on that horse, if you cannot tell me about that account that he so eloquently recites, and then you can't tell me who else had the same exact one, if you can't tell me about the actual way that he created this nice little piece that has like a star, has like a cross on it, part of it looks like a P, another part of it looks like the skull and crossbones. If you can't tell me what flag they were running, if you can't tell me about the Crusaders, if you can't tell me about history tying in with biblical context, please refrain from leaving your keyboard pause within the chat or sending me long emails about what your mama and them taught you. Because this color girl over here is a little studied. Okay? Don't come to me with that, you guys. It's time for us to do better. And it's time for us to see that when somebody says that they are who they are, please believe them so that we can get this piece done and we can go. Because in a minute, they're going to be bringing stuff from the sky telling you that it's somebody. It's going to be their rendition of a quote-unquote sky daddy. It's going to be their rendition of a quote-unquote sky daddy. And it's those who are going to be rolling around with that better watch out, because that's what that's what they're tenderizing you for. They're tenderizing. They're tenderizing. Take a nice little poke, poke. Then they take a little thermometer and they'll stick it in the fattest part of you. Not yet. A little bit longer. They're tenderizing you. They're tenderizing you. Look out. Because something wicked this way cometh. It's coming. But it's coming from up here. That's because you believe what you choose to believe. It's because you will not let go, and they need you. 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 So he said it. The Pope appeared visibly distraught. I don't know why he appeared distraught when he knows these scientists, and he could have pulled them together in a quiet room and says, hey, if this was truly how he felt, what is it that we're doing here, and why is this going this way? He could have said that, but he didn't. He chose to publicly look how cunning that was. This is a new download. Look how cunning. Ain't that funky? He chose to get in front of those poor people, the masses that don't even open up anything dealing with science. These people are just regular folks who just get up every day, take care of their families, take care of their loved ones, eat dinner and supper together, go to sleep, and they believe in him because they believe they really, their hearts really are to serve God. Their hearts really are to serve the Father. That's what these people, that's what their hearts are. So they trust him. But do you see where he took his message? Why didn't he take that message to the scientific community? You want to know why? Because the scientific community would be like, yo, wait a minute, what's good? Yo, you the one that gave us X amount of money. Didn't you give us an endowment for this? Don't come over here talking that to us. Why? Because they know the truth. He literally treated them people like chumps. That's wrong. But he did that. He did that. And that's the reason why he took his story to them. Hey, David. That's the reason why he took their story to them, Rachel. That's why he took it over there to them. What's good, Deborah? That's why he took his story to the people, as Bain says. The people. It's for the people. You know what Bain did? I want what's fair and what's best for the people. So let me go talk to the people. He didn't go talk to academia. Why? because academia wasn't going to be hearing that because they already know who he was. Yeah, that part. Let's look at some of the medical applications that we just looked at before we go ahead and get on out of here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and look at some of the medical applications. And what we're going to do is we're just going to read through it together. Remember, you guys, oftentimes I don't read this stuff. I get my topics together, and then we go from there. But let's look at the medical applications. Let's go down the glossary. It's like a glossary of sorts. You guys tell me which one you want me to read here in the chat. Tell me which ones. We're going to go through them. Dynamo modeling platform accelerates biological simulation and more. This is 2015. Launched Cern Open Lab in 2015. Has now reached maturity and is seeking new applications. And you got this one. Cern, CHUV, and Theory Q join forces for the world's first in-cancer radiotherapy. Fighting cancer with I'm sorry. Didn't I tell you? They have medical applications. Yeah. This is what they do. Yeah. Sure. Fighting cancer with light. Who does? Who's this? Cern. A novel proton accelerator for cancer treatment based on Cern technology is getting ready to receive its first patients in the United Kingdom. Well, that's November 25th, 2022. I'll be back over there in a second to see which one of these are going to win out. Whichever one you guys want us to open up and read, we're going to do it together because we're hanging out. How far can technology improve your health? Well, I think that'd be a great segue into everything else. Sparks, it says. CERN's Serendipity Forum brings together experts to discuss future technology for health. That was October. Look at how wonderful. All this stuff is so nice and recent. Look at this, 30 years of the Terra Foundation. On September 15th, 1992, the Terra Foundation was established in Novara, Italy. Exactly 30 years later, a symposium was held at Cern to review its contributions to hadron therapy. This is all medical. Spectroscopic X-ray imaging, now certified for medical use. Again, 2022. The Cern workshops on the medical applications of spectroscopic X-ray detectors have been instrumental in advancing the spectroscopic X-ray imaging and bringing it from the lab to the clinic. Symposium on September the 15th through the 30th anniversary of the Terra Foundation at Cern. First European hospital receives 3D color X-ray scanner using Cern technology. This is probably where we should just stay. We should just stay here. Do you see how convenient this can all be? Do you see how this all so neatly fits together? I hope you do. Can you see? KT and EP detector seminar, state of the art of positron emission tomography, or PET. You know those PET scans? Technology and current challenges. A clear study paves the way for novel electron-based cancer therapy. That was in June of 2021, and Crystal Clear 30 years on. The Crystal Clear collaboration is celebrating its 30th anniversary this April, an opportunity to retrace an unusual journey. I'm sure there's a whole lot more. But let me see what you guys say you want to talk about. Somebody get that cat. Let me get it. I'll get it. Block you. You got it. Good. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see that? Do you see that? Who has made all of this technology under your noses, under our noses? You know what? I got to find this thing that Mama took. Because you know Mama took this too. My birth mother's gone on, but my mama who raised me, my stepmama, she took this. prior to taking this, or right around the time she took it, they gave her a thing so that it will go down in her body. Let me look for it. You can swallow it. And let me see who made that. Let me see. Hmm. Well, this is not made by Cern. I don't see their name anywhere in here. But they have a swallowable capsule camera instead of endoscopy for at-home use. This is what she did. She swallowed this. I don't believe this is Cern. I don't believe this is Cern. But I wonder if this company had a National Health Service of England. The device will be studied in a trial conducted by the Health Service National and Shanana. But I wonder if one of their companies has something to do with them. Let's see. Simon Stevens. He's the executive of NHS England. Let's see if they got anything to do with each other. Let's see. I'm glad you guys are just hanging out with me. Evaluation of benefits that the UK has derived from Cern. August of 2020. I'll leave all this down below for you. Yep. You guys, we need to realize that when we look at the boogeyman that has been created for us, the boogeyman will consistently make himself appear as if he is benign and means you no harm. So I think it's important for us to note who is who. Now, I'm gonna put a story up for tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is my is the Sabbath, so I will not be doing this unless I lean only on scriptural context for it. But let me tell you this. Maybe the next day, Friday. I'll do it for Friday. Okay? And I want to talk about this particular guy. I'm going to zero in on him and some of the comments and statement that he's made. And that's this Francis, or what is his name? Not Francis, not the Pope. The other guy, the priest. I want to talk about the priest. And I want to talk about, what I want to do is bring up a whole bunch of other ones. But I think it's important to note that all of these different medical things that they have are amazing. 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 This right here, this is, when you consider all these medical things, let's go to the next page. When you consider all these medical things, you would never ever imagine that something as simple as having an x-ray done was done by them. Certain collaborators open a new horizon for cancer therapy. Everything is leading to cancer. Do you notice how many people are dying of these different unique cancers right now? Medics, 3D color x-ray made possible with Cern technology. Flashes of electrons against cancer. Cern and CHUV collaborate on pioneering new cancer radiotherapy facility, a whole facility. The world's first proton treatment of cardiac pathology. Enabling hadron therapy in Southeast Europe. I wonder what that is. Let's read this one first. Let's do this one. I'm going to do this one. Let me do this one. Yeah. Okay, you guys can see it. Let me give you the whole screen. Let me give you the whole screen. And then we're going to head out of here. All right. Enabling hadron therapy in Southeast Europe, a new facility following the founding principles of Cern, begins its design phase. A state-of-the-art facility for hadron therapy And Southeast Europe has moved from its conceptual to its design phase, following financial support from the European Commission. At a kickoff meeting held in September 18th, in Budva, Montenegro, more than 120 people met to discuss the future. Southeast European International Institute for Sustainable Technologies, or the CEIST. Do you see that? SEEIIST, a facility for tumor therapy and biomedical research that follows the founding principles of Cern. The idea for CEIST came from former CERN Director General Hedwig Schoper, and benefited from a political push from Montenegro Minister of Science Sanjay Damanjakovic, who is also a physicist who works at CERN. And GSI Fair in Darmstadt, Germany. CEIST aims to create a platform of internationally competitive research in the spirit of CERN. Quote, science for peace model. Stimulating the education of the young scientists, building scientific capacity, and fostering greater cooperation and mobility in the region. Europe has played a role in the development of hadron therapy, with numerous centers currently offering proton therapy and 4 facilities offering proton and more advanced carbon ion treatment. Hello, carbon. You're carbon, I'm carbon, we're carbon. Carbon ion treatment. I know they don't have anything to do with each other, but I just thought I'd make that point. But certainly no such facility exists in Southeast Europe, despite a growing number of tumors being diagnosed there. CEIST will follow the idea of the PIMMS accelerator design, which started at CERN 2 decades ago, profiting from the experience at the dual proton ion centers CNAO in Italy and Med Ostron in Austria, as well as centers at the GSI and in Heidelberg. It will be a unique facility that splits its beam 50-50 between treating patients and performing research with a wide range of different ions for radiobiology imaging and treatment planning. The latter will include studies into the feasibility of heavier ions such as oxygen. Let me make this larger, okay? Such as oxygen, making CEIST distinct in this rapidly growing field. Now, it goes on to say here in closing that the next steps are to prepare a definite technical design for the facility, to propose a structure and business plan, and to define the conditions for the site selection. To carry out these tasks, several working groups are being established in close collaboration with CERN and GSI Fair. This great event was a accumulation of the continuous efforts invested since 2017 into the project. If all goes well, construction is expected to start in 2023, with the first patient treatment in 2028. Okay? So there's that. There's that. So please, let's understand that they're the same they've always been. Everything is the same. Nothing is different. The only thing that they change may be a couple of players here and there. Now, I want to tell you that there's a cat that you guys know. I listened to, I was talking to Roy, and we were talking a while ago about this guy, Harari. Whoo, boy. I've been listening to a lot of old stuff from him all the way coming forward. There's a lot that we've discovered about him, that I've discovered about him. But all of this stuff goes hand in hand. There may be different bad guy groups. You know what I'm saying? You may have like three different drug groups. You know what I mean? Drug dealers. You got them over on homeboy over on this corner, homeboy over in that corner, homeboy over in this corner. They all bad, but they all dislike each other. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, is all I got to tell you. Whole lot of stuff that's going on. And there's a whole lot of stuff dealing with the brain, as you may already know. You already know it. Y'all already know because y'all are smart. The smartest chat on the planet. Going back to Trump, before Trump, going to Mr. The other guy, 44, Obama. Then dealing with now all the things that they have been doing for the brain. This all is a trip. Every inch of this, all the way to the Neuralink and the thing that actually superseded Neuralink. There's something else that went above Neuralink. They saw the way that he was doing it, taking out the top of the head. Remember, he had like a little cork, but they have another way where they're doing it. And not to mention the fact that I'm going to be talking to you guys very soon about something that I mentioned to you. I didn't mention to you guys. I mentioned it on the Lockhart Perspective. If you have not signed up over on the Lockhart Perspective, will you please do that for me? We talk about everything there. We talk a lot about biblical stuff. We also talk about some of the stories going on in society, and then we put the biblical context to them. Now, I'm going to tell you this. All of the guests that are over there, they may not be like you or me. Some of them cuss. I cuss on occasion. I already told y'all that. Out of the New Testament, I guess I would be the modern day Peter. To a point, because I've gotten a whole lot better. So don't expect for those folks over there to be pristine, and, they're not. They just regular folks. Some of them, they have the great opinions when they come on the show. They bring a little color to the show, a little laughter and whatnot. But some of them, just like regular people, they're a little different. Some of them are. Some of them are cool. Some of them are different. They believe differently. But my point is, over there on the channel, we have been talking specifically about talking about the brain, talking about neurological stuff, talking about how different people have done things for pregnancy, for them to actually now say, okay, this is a birthing person. But I talked about something, was an event that took place in Las Vegas a few years ago. And they had this pouch, and the pouch was an artificial womb. Well, now, hey, whoa. While thou was sleeping, while they were sleeping, while the masses were taking a little nippy nap, they're about to roll that out. They're about to roll it out. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. You guys are the reason why. Okay? You guys are the reason why. You really are. You are the best of the best. All of you are. Every one of you that come here, that support me, that watch what we have to say over here, that hang out with us. You guys are the reason. And I appreciate you so very much. If you guys want to see me more and you want to help out, consider throwing $1, just one, not 10, not 15. I'm not asking for 20. Just give $1. You can give that $1 to the Lockhart Perspective on Cash App. You can literally send that $1 if you want to just give $1. That'll literally help me be here even more, because right now I'm split between three contracts. Because the money was getting a little strange. $1, that's it, can help keep me here more often and prevent me from having to keep changing the date and the times of events. Okay? Yesterday, I can't talk about it because I'm under a thingy. But I want to tell you guys, there's some amazing stuff coming up with the federal government and your local government. That's all I want to say. Whoa! Bang zoom, Alice. Listen, you guys, you know what we always say here on any Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to take care of yourselves first, because without you being all right, nobody else is going to make any difference. It's not going to make a difference. Then I want you to reach around and take care of somebody else. And until you and I see one another again, I want you to please continue to be blessed. All right? You take care of yourself.
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.